Hello, what's up, people? Welcome back to Football Insights. This was supposed to be uploaded yesterday, but I was a little bit, busy. So this will be quick. The Champions League, we have Real Madrid versus Arsenal, Bayern Munich playing against Inter Milan, PSG, Aston Villa, Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund on Wednesday. So we have 2 games today and then 2 games on Wednesday. Quickly, let's get straight into the video. So we are starting with the big game. The big game, this is a historical game. This big game is a very historical game. In 2006 semi-final, Arsenal versus Real Madrid played. The lineup for Arsenal, they had Liman, they had Flamini, they had Senderos. If you play game, you would know Senderos. They had, Kole Toure, they had Eboué, the 2 African brothers. They had Hleb, 4-4-1-1. That was the formation. So they had Hleb on the right, they had Reyes on the left, they have Fabregas and Gilberto Silva as the double pivot, and then they have Ljungberg as operating as the number 10, and then Thierry Henry as the striker. So Master Ljungberg was operating as the number 10. So this was the Arsenal team. The Real Madrid team, they had Casillas in the goalpost, they had Miguel Salgado, top player, Miguel Salgado operating as the right back, they had Roberto Carlos, they had Raul Bravo, and then they had Ramos operating, as the center, backs. They had Gravison, Beckham, Zidane, and then Guti completing the midfield, and Raul Gonzalez, the top man up front with Ronaldo. So on any day, this team must, was supposed to score Arsenal, because when you look at the Real Madrid side, they had top players, but Arsenal triumphed over Real Madrid, and Arsenal qualified for the Champions League final 2006. They played against Barcelona and then lost. That was their first Champions League final. So this game has a historical background. This time around, it is, personnel has changed, but it's still the same team. Personnel has changed, and it's still a big game. Arsenal playing. I think Julian Timber will not play because he's kind of injured. I don't know whether he's going to come back. Arsenal have a lot of injuries, especially, Kai Havertz is injured. They have some couple of injuries in their team, same as Real Madrid. Tchouaméni is not going to play. They have couple of injuries in their team too. So Arsenal and Real Madrid, they all have injuries. For that one, that is fact. They all have injuries. But how are they going to approach this game? That is the problem, and that is the question. How are they going to approach this game? I think that Arsenal shouldn't fear, because Real Madrid are coming to Emirates. It is your stadium. They are Real Madrid, yes. But when there is that fear in you, that fear is going to kill you. You are playing against Real Madrid, and there is that one fear, or there is that iota of fear in you, it is going to kill you. Because when they sense that there is a fear in you, that is where the problem is going to come from. That is where Real Madrid are going to, just come into their spirit and then play against you. If I am Arteta, I'm calling Fabregas from Como. Says, come and talk to the boys. That is what I would do. Talk to the boys. How you guys were able to achieve that goal? How were you guys able to score Real Madrid in 2006? What actually went on in the team? How was the dressing room like? They need motivation. Arsenal doesn't have a great squad. They don't have a complete squad because they have a couple of injuries. They need to believe that yes, we can do it, and yes, they can do it. It is the belief that is going to do something. Just believe and work hard, and you are going to achieve your purpose. But realistically, I don't see Arsenal qualifying, honestly. But this leg, maybe Emirates, maybe they can win or get some draw, 1 or 2. But realistically, I don't see Arsenal qualifying. I see Real Madrid, qualifying at the Santiago Bernabeu. But let's see what happened. Real Madrid versus Arsenal, top game, Emirates Stadium. Let's see what happened. I am predicting 1-1 scoreline for Arsenal versus Real Madrid in the first leg. Bayern Munich versus Inter Milan, top game. From my point of view, one of these guys can go to the Champions League final. I want Inter Milan to win the Champions League. I have said it on countless occasions. I don't know why, but I just feel like they have the edge. They have the capability to win the Champions League. But they are going to Allianz Arena. That is a tough grounds to go. But Inter Milan also have, a solid defensive record in the Champions League. I think they have considered just 2 goals in the Champions League so far. For like 8 games, they have conceded only 2 goals. So defensively, they are solid. They are going into a game at Allianz Arena Sports Stadium, a tough ground to play Champions League where big teams come and then they shake. Allianz Arena, big teams come there and then they shake. But by the way, the final is going to be played at Allianz Arena, though. So big teams come there, they shake. But Inter Milan have solid defensive record going into the game. Bastoni is okay, he's fit. Damien is there, their goalkeeper, Soma. They have their Simeone Inzaghi, who is going to set up, a very, very, just like a 5-back or a 3-back system with the wing back, Dumfries, and then the guys, operating at the flank. So I'm expecting Inter Milan to, probably, show a test. I'm expecting them to, put up a fight against Bayern Munich. I want Inter Milan to qualify ahead of Bayern Munich, but it's going to be very difficult. But let's see what happens. Jamal Musiala is out. He has torn his, muscular fiber or ACL, something like that, and then he will be out for the rest of the season. Speedy recovery to Jamal Musiala. I thought it was going to be very key for Bayern Munich this particular game, but of course, things happen in football. Things happen, injuries happen. So Jamal Musiala is out of this particular 2 legs or this particular season in the Champions League and both in the Bundesliga for Bayern Munich this season, so far as the season is concerned. So Bayern Munich, I know they have Michael Olise, they have Leroy Sané, they have their top striker in Hurricane, a clinical striker. If you give him chance, you are dead. Give Hurricane chance and then you are dead. Michael Olise will be very key. I think if they want to block the goals, if they want to block the chances, they should, be on Michael Olise. Bastoni, be on Olise because he's very sharp. All the chances are coming from Olise. So if you are able to block Olise, you are blocking Bayern Munich. That's what I feel. Because go and check. All their big chances are coming from Michael Olise. So block Olise and you are blocking Hurricane. You are blocking the chances. You are blocking the goals. So Olise is going to be very key for Bayern Munich in this particular 2 legs. Block Olise and then you will be fine. And then of course, Marcus Thuram, I know you, Marcus Thuram, you have to be very clinical up front. Lautaro Martinez is not really on form in the second half of the season, but Thuram, Mendy Taremi, and then Lautaro Martinez, when the chances come, utilize the chances. Dumfries, when you are able to bomb forward and you get some chances, you have to utilize those chances. No room for complacency. Don't go and then show complacency. When you get a chance, be clinical up front and bury the chances and they will be fine. I'm expecting a 2-1 against Inter Milan. It is going to be very tough, but I'm expecting 2-1 against Inter Milan. I think Inter Milan will come to Giuseppe Meazza and then they will do something against Bayern Munich. PSG versus Aston Villa, top game, top game. Aston Villa are not that side. Of course, this is their first time in about 20 years coming into the Champions League. And then, yes, they have shown character because, they have won the Champions League before. They have shown character in the Champions League quarterfinal as we speak, playing against Paris Saint-Germain at the Parc des Princes. Paris Saint-Germain are one of the favorites to win the Champions League. They are cooking. You know why? They are attacking options. It's just insane. Bradley Bacola, Krita Kvaratskhelia, Desiree Doué, Ousmane Dembele. So these guys have, solid attacking, should I say, 4 solid attacking, threats. So PSG, they have a solid coach too. They are coming into the game, winning the French Ligue 1, the Championnat. Is it McDonald's French Ligue 1? So McDonald's Le Championnat, they have won it. So that leg is done. If I was, Luis Enrique, I would have played the academy boys in the subsequent games. I don't know what he seeks to achieve. Probably maybe he wants to, achieve a solid point tally. Let's see what Luis Enrique will do in the subsequent games. If I am Luis Enrique, all our, concentration is going to the Champions League. We want to win the Champions League for PSG. They have gone to the Champions League final in, I think, 2020. Against Bayern Munich. That was their first Champions League final. They didn't win it. Of course, you can't win it. It is very difficult for you to win it on your first occasion. But they still have the opportunity to go to Champions League final this time around. They are going to beat Barcelona. But there's still a possibility that PSG can go to the Champions League final. So against Aston Villa, it is going to be a tough game, a tough contest. But I'm still expecting PSG to go through against Aston Villa. Aston Villa coming into the game, they are still fighting for the top 4. They have, equally solid players. I told you their loan army are performing for Aston Villa. So their loan army, Rashford, Donny Marlin, the Sassy, and then the likes Asensio are going to be very key for Aston Villa in this particular contest. Very, 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 very key for Aston Villa. So let's see what Aston Villa will bring. But I'm expecting, 2-0 against Aston Villa. I still have that edge that Aston Villa will score. So probably let me make it 3-1 against Aston Villa in the Parc des Princes. FC Barcelona, the so-called treble winners, the so-called favorite for the Champions League, the so-called favorite to win the league, the so-called favorite to win the Copa del Rey. Their fans are dreaming for treble this particular season. Are they going to do it? That is the story for another day. Another story. Let's see what happened. But against Dortmund they are not doing well in the Bundesliga. But trust me, when they meet you in the Champions League, it is going to be a very, 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 very difficult contest. When they meet you in the Champions League, watch their performances in the Champions League. Compare it to their performances in the Bundesliga. You would know that there is difference. Even when they were playing the Champions League final, they were not doing so well in the Bundesliga. So it tells you that Borussia Dortmund have that particular character. In the Champions League, they can show up against you, and then unexpectedly, you wouldn't expect it, but they will show up against you. So that is what Borussia Dortmund, I still expect them to come very hard. Nico Schlotterbeck is out. He will not be playing. I think in the first leg and both in the second leg. So Borussia Dortmund, Karim Adeyemi and the likes, Jimmy Gittins, Sheu Grassi, the guys, I expect them to pull up against Barcelona. But Barcelona, they are favorite for this particular contest, both in the first leg and in the second leg. Rafinha, is he going to start? Is he going to start Ferran Torres? What is Hansi Flick going to do? If Inigo Martinez get a yellow card this particular contest or this particular first leg, he is going to miss the second leg. Let's see what Hansi Flick will do. Is Ansu Fati going to get some game time? Let's see what Hansi Flick will do. Lamine Yamal posted something on IG. I'll put it on the screen for you. So Lamine Yamal says that he's on a mission for the treble for Barcelona this particular season. I still expect Barcelona to go through in this particular contest. I still expect Barcelona to win at the Olympic Stadium for Barcelona. I am going for a 2-0 against Borussia Dortmund. Robert Lewandowski, anytime goal scorer, and then Rafinha, anytime goal scorer. Let's see what happens. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Champions League preview. It is late. It will be uploaded late, but bear with me, so I had to, a job to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, click on the subscribe button, press the post notification bell, drop all your comments. What do you think? Who do you think is going to qualify? Drop all your comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for your time. This is Football Insights, and peace.